Hi, Bruce. Is there a major difference between policy and plan? I know sometimes they are used interchangeably, but not sure if it's appropriate or not. Please, if anybody can speak on this one, feel free to. I'll read your comment in there, but let me just give you my 2 cents on the difference between a policy and plan. It depends on the organization. The reason why I say that is because some organizations will call policies plans, and some will call plans policies. So it depends on the organization. I know it sounds crazy, but I've been to organizations where we're looking for a policy. Like, I'll do an assessment and I'm looking for a policy, right? I'm like, where's the policy at? I'm looking for the word policy, but then they'll put it in their information security plan. And in the security plan, it'll break down how they do access controls, how they do physical controls. I'm like, okay, this is the policy right here. So, and then I've been to organizations where they break it down like this. They'll say the policy is based off the laws, right? Whether that's FISMA or it's GDRP or whatever laws, state, federal, industry laws, right? And then they'll reference those laws, right? So they have that. And then the policy will break down who it's distributed to, what's the purpose, what's the scope, the individual controls, just like you're supposed to do. And then it won't go into too much technical detail. Policy aside, then you'll have a plan. This is some organizations. They'll have a plan, and that plan is referencing the policy, right? The plan is a little bit more details. Maybe there's a plan for this department, this sub-department, and this sub-department. So you have like 3 plans that are all cross-referencing this higher level policy. This is kind of how the DoD does it. They do it something like this in some organizations I've worked in. And then under the plans, right, which goes into more details per, like, not unit, but like per department. Then under the plans, you'll have processes. Like, you have like breakdowns of how you actually do this, or how you actually, and this one will be like more based off of the system. How do you log into this system? How do we set up this system? Those processes and procedures are way more detailed and way more in the weeds. They're way more technical, and they're like a walkthrough, right? So you have at the bottom in the weeds where we're at, you have like where you're working with system administrators and users and operators. You have the processes and procedures, like how do you do stuff, wikis, work instructions, stuff like that, right? Stuff we will write. And then that we could write it and just like send it to a manager and say, yep, good to go, or send it to peer review and then upload it onto some, I don't know, SharePoint or something. And then up above that, it's guided by plans. And those plans are a little bit more detailed, but they might be department specific. And then above that, you have one policy, the one policy to rule them all, right? The ring. So I've seen it. It depends on the organization. I've seen them call policies, and I've seen them call plans, and vice versa. I've seen them pretty interchangeable, to be honest with you. But some organizations are very particular about those words. What do you guys think? I've got some professionals on here. So please, if you guys have different opinions on this, or if you've seen something different, by all means, please chime in. You know, I'm always willing to learn, right? I'm here to learn just like you guys. Let me see. Smooth Virus says, back when I was in the desk support, we were on a DoD contract in DC and had a user file a complaint that we were wasting government electricity by using the elevators too much. Oh man, that should be a comic strip right there. They made us use the stairs. That lasted about a week. Oh, that's hilarious, man. Oh, I love that one. I love that story. Oh, man. That's a good one. I remember I used to work for a company that I probably shouldn't say the name. I don't want to get in trouble. It's a global, but I will say this. It's a global security company. This multi-billion dollars. And it rhymes with the words Morfrip Mummin. Anyway, so that this giant company that I worked for, we used to be able to fly first class. We had this contract, and we were flying because we were flying all over. So they not first class. We were flying first. I think one time we flew first class, but usually it's business class, and a couple times first class. So somebody saw us flying first class, and they were pissed. So they reported that, and after that, we were coached, man. We were coached all the way. They're like, don't waste my tax dollars. But electricity, that's pretty extreme. I kind of understand why they wouldn't want us flying first class, because that's pretty expensive, right? Unless they had some kind of a deal with the airline. I don't know. Let me see. What is your opinion on bug bounty programs? I think they're awesome. They're absolutely a necessity, especially if you have open source projects, and they've really developed some of the applications out there. Actually, this might be a really good question for Smooth Virus, man. I think this is that's his specialty. But man, they're invaluable. Like, especially like, what's crazy is I went to DEF CON, and DEF CON, they have a couple of spots where they would talk about bug bounties, and the latest and greatest malware was usually found by some random dude, people like you and me who are nerds who do this on the weekends. I'm talking about cybersecurity on the weekends. Like, who does this? This is ridiculous, right? I do it on my time off and on the weekends. I do it at work, and then when I get off of work, I do more security. So people like us discover these bugs, and then we report them, because we just do this as a hobby, right? It's something we are passionate. So it's absolutely invaluable to have bug bounties. Absolutely, very valuable to have it. I don't know. I don't do it. That's not my world. But let me see. Okay, I got some other questions here before I go any further with the comments. David said policies are pretty straightforward. They tend to reference federal, state laws. Plans I've seen tend to be more interchangeable with procedures, steps, step-by-step guides, and how to do something. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I've seen that too, where they have the plan is a little bit more in the weeds, and the policy is like up there, and it's referencing like laws and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that. Depends on the organization, I would say. I mean, from my perspective.